Thank you guys for having me. See y'all.
Bye-bye. Have a great day. And now we're gonna have our second guest speaker for today's class. Grace, thank you so much for waiting. I apologize for
No, you're fine. It was a pleasure listening to Miss Irene Grant. So I was just listening here and I was like nodding. I'm like, yes, what she's saying is
yeah, and
absolutely
all
correct.
she said is very accurate information. I mean, it doesn't apply to the population we serve, it applies to everybody, because one thing that I have
Absolutely.
always told them, in each cycle of job readiness that I do
Hmm.
every single month is this, like the process of finding and getting that job that we want. I mean, like, we all have to learn the same elements, and we have to apply these elements in order to be
Hmm.
successful in getting the job we want at the end. So let me introduce you formally. So this is Grace Sigalla. Is that's correct, Grace?
That is correct.
Perfect. So she represents another nonprofit organization. The name is TechImpact. And her job title is admissions manager. So thank you so much. This is the first time that Grace comes as a guest speaker to the
Yes.
job readiness program. This month in particular is very special for me because it's the first one that is dedicated to the youth program from NSC. So welcome, and
Thank
thanks
you.
for wanting to participate today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm very excited to share with you more information about who Tech Impact is, and then most importantly, talk to you about our IT Works program.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you. And I love your background, by the way.
Thank you.
Great,
I
like
was.
the bridge, that's amazing. Yeah, so just to be as a little introduction, so Grace is gonna be sharing with us today a PowerPoint presentation where she's gonna go over, and she's gonna be talking about what Tech Impact does, and but the main focus for today's presentation is going to be one of their IT programs. Based on, by the way, I was checking the website yesterday, and I noticed that you guys also offer a customer service training and a coding training. So I don't know if you're gonna mention it today, because I know the main focus is IT work. So if we have time, so you could briefly mention it. So back to
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
I will talk about all the programs that we offer. Let me see here if I'm able to share the PowerPoint
Yeah,
presentation.
let me know if you can share.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. Now, as it was mentioned before, I work for a company called Tech Impact. And basically, Tech Impact is a nonprofit organization. Our main mission is to use technology to better serve the world. And we really do that in two ways. So first is we provide tech services to hundreds of nonprofits across the nation. And secondly is through our workforce development training programs. Now, before we start talking about the IT Works, of which is the main focus, I just wanted to touch base a little bit, like Lucilla said, for our other training programs, of which is CX Works, which trains on customer service, and Punch Code, which is our coding bootcamp. Now, CX Works and Punch Code are specifically only for Las Vegas, Nevada residents. So that is where those two programs operate in currently. But IT Works is the program that is available across 3 locations. So in Philadelphia, Wilmington, Delaware, and also in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, the IT Works program, it is considered an entry-level training. It's 16 weeks. Classes are offered Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's offered twice in a year. So we usually have a cohort that starts in the spring, of which spring cohorts just started yesterday across all 3 locations. And then the next cohort that we'll be recruiting for will be for the fall. And that
For
will
the
most
fall.
probably, yes, for the fall. So that will most
So
probably
there's
be
no even chance,
starting.
obviously, to try to apply for the present one, the one that started yesterday, right?
yes, it's not possible to apply for it now just because it, the application is already closed. So really, for the IT Works program, we only take 18 students per cohort. So we cannot take any more than that. But we still do have the applications open for the fall. And we'll talk about the admissions process in a little bit, and I will share the link with you to complete the application. But just in general, so this is a 16 weeks program. Our curriculum is based on the Cisco training. And for this program specifically, we train for the certification called CompTIA A+. Now, this is a certification that enables you to land entry-level IT jobs. So it's really great for people who are on a novice level and they're trying to get their foot in the door in the tech industry. Now, the first 11 weeks of the training is mainly just getting the technical skills. And then the last 5 weeks is internship placement, which is guaranteed for every student who completes those first 11 weeks successfully. And then we will talk about the internship in a minute, but so throughout the program, you have a chance to gain over 100 hours of professional development training, of which these usually happen on Friday sessions. So this is mostly, just getting you ready to train you on your soft skills to really prepare you for the job market after that. So we do hear a lot from employers and the recruiters that we work with that, a person can be magnificent, can be like Einstein or whatever, and have all the tech experiences, but they're really looking for people who are able to work in teams. So that is why we concentrate on these Friday sessions to make sure that we really strengthen you on those soft skills that employers are looking for. And then in the program, if selected, you'll be paired with a mentor. So every student will have their mentor, who is usually a person who is currently working in the tech field. And the main aim is to just help you throughout the program and even after the program to just give you advice and, give you a proper direction of where you should go after you complete the program so that you can launch your tech career. And then also on Thursdays, we have what we call lunch and learn sessions. So this is usually about 1 hour where we will have a leader in the tech industry, usually from one of the partnering companies that we work for, who come and just give advice to our students. And then, so like I mentioned in the beginning, apart from the CompTIA A+ certification, another certification that our students get is called Cisco IT Essentials. Now, for this certification, you do not have to sit for an exam. You get it automatically so long as you complete successfully your coursework for those first 11 weeks. And then after that is when you'll go and sit for the exam to take the CompTIA A+ test. And
That's
then,
amazing. That's really
yes,
good. Wow.
yes. And then for what we cover in the curriculum, so basically what we cover is mostly PC hardware and software related topics. So as you can see here in the presentation, we train on troubleshooting, installing and configuring operating systems. We train you more on the PC hardware. So you will learn how to build a computer and take it apart, and you'll be able to take that home with you. We do introduce a little bit on computer networking. We learn about different devices. So really, just training you on the topics that you really need in order to be able to work after you complete the training. So as you can notice, this program has nothing coding related. So if there's a person who is interested in coding, unfortunately, you won't be able to learn that from this program. But we have seen some of our alumni who have pursued like coding bootcamps after they completed the training, because after this is when you'll be able to figure out exactly which area of IT you're interested in. Like if you're interested in programming, then you can go for that route. If you're interested in security, then you can go and pursue a more advanced certifications to become a cybersecurity expert. Or if you're interested in database administration, then you can go and pursue trainings in that direction. And then this is how typically our week looks like. So if you remember, I mentioned that classes are offered Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, in every week for those first 11 weeks, we have 2 tests per week. So on Monday and Wednesdays, we'll learn new materials. With Monday, we have an additional lab sessions, of which currently they're taking place virtually. And then Tuesday and Thursday, we take exams. So really, you'll be taking an exam on the chapter that you learned the previous day. And then on Friday, at those professional development sessions, of which I will mention, like I'll list a little bit some of the sessions that we provide training on those Fridays. So like I say, for the Friday sessions is mainly to just strengthen your soft skills. So we train on different areas such as communication, time and work management, emotional intelligence, financial management. We do teach a little bit about customer service just because the IT roles that our students go for after completing the training are usually customer facing, so like help desk support roles. And also we do teach about leadership, professionalism. We have resume workshops. We have mock interviews just to prepare you for interviews after you complete the training. And these are just just some of the trainings that we provide. Every year we kind of change them or add something new, just to add more benefits to our participants for the program. And then that internship part of which is usually the key thing that attracts people to this program. So as we all know, if you go online and look up jobs, you will see that most of them require you to have some experience working. So the reason why we incorporated the internship space is just because you can get hands-on work experience with an employer, and that will go a really long way in helping you get jobs after graduating from the program. So our internship is only for 5 weeks, and every student who completes the first 11 weeks successfully are guaranteed to get an internship. Now, most internships are paid, but if it happens that you get an unpaid internship, TechImpact sometimes does provide some stipends, so like training wages, to help you out during those 5 weeks. And then this is just a brief condensed list of the employers that we work with. And I just say it's condensed because the ITWorks program, especially in Philadelphia, has been around for over 10 years. So every year we add on, new employer partners to our list, and they assist with those mock interview sessions, those resume sessions. Most of them also are a part of the people who provide internship opportunities to our students, and even hire them after they graduate. So they're great partners and also funders of our program.
The internship part of the program it is apart from the training itself?
Yes, it is part of it. So it's a full package. In order to be considered a successful graduate, you must complete internship as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then how does the job market look like in IT? So according to research that we did, we see that IT support specialist jobs are expected to grow by 10% between 2018 and 2028. Now, I know you're probably wondering, with the pandemic, how has it been? I would say that I think the IT industry is one that was not affected as much, just because, there are roles that people are able to work from home. People have been working from home even since before the pandemic. So
there
really has not been a lot of change in that sector.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Good
And
for
then,
that.
yes, absolutely. Good for people who are working in IT. And I've also seen that because of the pandemic, we've seen like a lot of people are realizing that, and a lot of people are now looking to get trainings to get into, to get IT jobs. And then what is considered as the median salary for IT support specialists is $54,000 a year. So this is really after, for fresh graduates from a program after they've been in the industry for a couple of years, that is what the median salary looks like. And then overall, the tech sector is expected to add over 500,000 new jobs, of which is great.
So a person who graduates from the IT Works program and after getting about 2 years of experience, you say that's the median of when it comes to the salary.
Yes,
Annual salary.
especially for the IT specialist roles, of which we see as one of the roles that most of our students go for. So after a couple of years, sometimes depending on which company it is, like if it's a big company, we have some people in less than 2 years make that much and even more. We've seen a student who made close to 60,000 just in less than 2 years from graduating from the program. And also another contributing factor is, after from the program, after you get your A+ certification, it's important if you continue to, like go and get training and get more certifications, because the more certs you stack up, the more marketable you'll be. And it also increases your chances of, being advanced at your current employer or look for a better paying job.
Yeah. Either with like a job, like promotion within the company, or just getting a job upgrade somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with the tech industry, it's an industry where things are always evolving. Even the systems they use, the programming languages, they evolve. So you always have to be constantly learning. So that's another key thing. Like, while you're thinking if IT is a career that you want to develop in, you have to be a person who is willing to learn. Definitely. Like, always keeping yourself up to date with the new technologies out there.
Would you say this the IT Works training program is more suited for people who are already sure want to be part of the IT industry, or would you say also helps as a part of a career exploration?
That's a great question, and it's definitely the first part. So if you're just trying to explore careers, this is not a great program for you, just because it is very rigorous and it is intense too. So you do not want to commit yourself into 16 weeks of intense training just to find out that that's not the career you want. You don't want to waste your time, time that you could have used to actually explore what would be the best career fit for you. So this is definitely a program for people who are sure that IT is what they're interested in, that you're passionate about and you're willing to commit to that cause in order to achieve your main goal. Now, as for the different job titles that we see our graduates fresh from the program, what they get. So definitely we see a lot of help desk support roles. So like help desk analyst, of which, like I said, these are more customer facing roles. They involve you working with different clients, helping them troubleshoot the different IT issues they're experiencing virtually or even going on site. And then there's also IT support technicians, business analysts, and equipment deployment and system upgrades. But these are just a few of the job titles. But really, if you just search, like, if you go on Indeed or on Glassdoor or wherever that you're looking for jobs, if you put in CompTIA A+, then you'll see a list of jobs that require you to have their certification. And then, like I mentioned, once people graduate from the program and they finally know which area of IT they're interested in, just because IT Works is a little bit more general. But, once you realize like, oh, I want to be, go more into networking, that's what I really enjoy, then you could pursue more advanced certifications like the CompTIA Network Plus, Cisco Certified Network Associate Cert. Those will enable you to land jobs like network engineer, network administrator, network architect, and even system administrators. And then if it happens that you're interested in becoming a cybersecurity analyst, of which is a very, very booming role, I would say right now, especially with everything being virtually with the pandemic, there's a lot of there's phishing and hackings going on. So this is a role that most employers are looking for. With that, you'll be able to pursue more security-related training, such as the CompTIA Security Plus and Cybersecurity Plus certifications. And then lastly, if you're interested in becoming a programmer, you could go for different coding bootcamps. There's a lot of great coding bootcamps out there. I mean, I know one of them that is present in Philadelphia is Tech Elevator that we have worked with before. And they offer great trainings in Java, JavaScript, all programming languages that employers are looking for, especially those in the in the banking industry. All right, and then this is just, again, a condensed list of employers where our students have worked at before. So this includes different employers from Philly, from Delaware, and those from Las Vegas. But again, the list continues growing year by year. So this is just, a few of the places that you see our graduates work at. And also, if you go to our website, of which I will be sharing that link in a second, you'll be able to go through where we put our alumni spotlight, and you can see some background information about them, the experience going through IT Works, and also you can see the places that they work at. So if you want to see a list of other employers that are most probably not here, but they're mentioned on there. All right, now I know I've talked a lot of great things about the program, and you're probably curious about what are the outcomes looking like. So like I mentioned, the program has been around for over 10 years, and up to now we have over 700 graduates who have completed our program across all 3 locations that we're operating in. And 100% of all the graduates received the Cisco IT Essentials certification, and 80% of the graduates, and this is just an average, got employment in the IT field within just 6 months. And I will say that for a Philadelphia class that ended recently, that will be a fall class that ended last December, given the pandemic and all of the challenges of transferring the class to be fully online, we had started with 16 students. And I believe 8 students already have gotten full-time employment and their certification. So it's such a great outcome given all that we were facing last year. And then as for the starting salary for our graduates, we see that it's anywhere between 35 to 37,000 a year.
That's a really good salary, I would say.
Yes, especially just because this program, and now we're going to talk a little bit about the requirements, but if we have an 18-year-old who have gone through a program fresh out of high school and then they start making that much money, I think it's reasonable.
That's amazing.
Yes. And, they'll be able to take care of themselves, or even go to school if they want to pursue a degree afterwards. So
yeah, that makes me wonder, at the age of 30, how much they're going to make?
Right, exactly.
I mean, right?
Yes. Yeah, so to complete the application, you go to our website, itworks.org/apply. When you go there, you'll be able to complete your application online. And then after that, you'll be receiving an email from myself letting you know about when we'll be starting the interview process. But like I mentioned, since the next cohort we're recruiting for is the fall cohort, we will start that interview process around end of May, beginning of June. And then as for the eligibility requirements, you must have a high school diploma or GED. And then the program targets 18 to 26-year-olds. However, we do consider on a case-by-case basis those who are between 27 and 29. And then if you have a 4-year college degree, you will not be qualified for the program, but we do accept those who have an associate's degree. And then lastly, we want people who are interested in technology. And this is what we talked about a few minutes ago, that, if you're sure that IT is the path that you want to pursue and that you're passionate about it, you would definitely want to apply. But if you're not yet sure, still feel free to reach out to me. Maybe we can provide you with a list of other training providers that we know about that you may be able to pursue. But definitely IT Works is for those who are really, really interested and they are ready to commit to those 16 weeks and hopefully get into the IT industry soon after that.
I have a couple of questions for you, Grace. So first, the population that we serve, they all come from different countries. They're not from here. Right. So what if they came to the US with their high school diploma from their home country? would you guys accept that?
Absolutely. Yes, we do. And I'm not sure if you know this, but I think we have a student who graduated from our fall class who may have been
Yeah,
your
I
class from
refer
you.
him.
Yes. So,
I'm actually helping him now too.
yeah, so he
I'm,
definitely graduated high school from his home country, and that
yeah.
is fine.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. I just wanted to clarify because like this is like a new group of students
Right.
and like a bunch of our students are gonna be watching this video later. So it's good to clarify. So the my second question is people in general, I would say, regardless where this happening, get a little bit nervous about interviews, right? So you're telling us that part of the process is going through a phone screen,
Hmm.
virtual interview, and then like an individual, and the last one is the group interview. So what is the what would you expect from these interviews, like for whoever wants to apply for this program? How do
Yeah.
they look?
So, we're definitely throughout the whole interview process. The key things that we're looking for is to see if this person is ready to commit, if they have, the support that they need to be successful, if they have done their research and realize that this is really what they want. So when a person submits an application, we send them what we call an acknowledgement email, right? And we include links to our program, links to where they can learn a little bit more about the CompTIA A+ certification. So when we call you to conduct that phone interview, and this is me not trying to share the questions that we ask, but definitely we'll be trying to see like what it is that you know about the program and how will it be able to help you in achieving your career goal. So that is basically the key thing that we're looking for throughout these interviews, but also we're also looking for people who will be able to work with others. And this is not just in the perspective of employment placement, but also in the perspective of the class. So usually our students succeed not just because they study a lot individually, but it's because they help each other throughout the program. So we want to see like, will this person be able to help their friend in class if it happens that they miss class because of family reasons or personal issues? Like, will they be able to help their friends get caught up in class? So we're looking for a person who is ready to be successful and who is ready to help their colleagues as well.
Great.
All right. So yes, as it was mentioned, the interview process involves after you submit the online application, you do a phone screening, and then there's a virtual interview, and lastly, there's a group interview before an admissions decision is made. And usually, we send out the admissions decisions at least 2 weeks before class starts, just because we want to allow time for orientation and making sure that we provide everybody with laptops and the textbooks, of which are things that we provide throughout the program. Obviously, the laptop is a loaner. We will expect to get that back at the end of the program. But so we want to make sure that we allow that time to do all that. And also for any of our participants who are working and they need to put in like notice at work for their, their work schedules or anything like that, at least they have those 2 weeks to do that before class starts. And then at the end there, I have included my contact information. If you want to take a screenshot for that, please go ahead and do that. Just in case if you have any questions later on, feel free to reach out to me directly.
Yeah, I got a quick question. So how long like the whole admission process takes?
That's a great question. So I would say,
I mean, I'm asking because I'm thinking like, well, they just started the spring slash summer
mhm.
cohort, so now they're gonna start recruiting for the fall one. So in that case, how that process goes? If I can apply now online through the
So
website.
you can definitely apply right now. However, we will be starting the phone interviews in the summer. So by June, that's when we'll be starting the phone interviews. And then start the interviews, phone interviews in June. Usually the virtual interviews take about a month. So that will be happening the whole of July. And then the group interviews would most probably happen that first week of August. And then by the second week of August, you'll know if you're selected or not. And the reason why it takes that long is because we usually receive over 100 applications per each location.
Wow.
So, but
That's a lot of applications.
It is a lot of applications. So the team that works on Philadelphia and Wilmington is the same. So I do the interview process for Philadelphia and Wilmington. Las Vegas, they have their own team. So obviously I have about 200 applications. So I have to phone screen all of those people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So whoever is the amount of people who decide to send the online application, they all have the opportunity to go over that phone screening with you.
Exactly. They all have the opportunity to go through the phone screening with us. And we just don't reach out to you once. If we call you today and you don't answer, we'll wait after a few days, we'll call you, we will text you, we'll email you. We utilize all those communication options all to reach out to you. So I mean, we don't always end up doing a phone screening with everybody because, some people lose interest over time. But okay. I would say that we end up phone screening about 70% of the applications that we receive. And then we would send to the group, to the individual interviews, which is the second step, about, I would say maybe 36 to 40 candidates. And then for the group interviews, we'll send about 24 to 30 candidates, of which from there we only select 18.
That's why it has the 3 interview steps, huh?
Yes, that's why there's 3 steps. So in every step, we kind of like filter people as we go through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like any hiring process.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it feels like a hiring process. Yeah, but I mean, but it makes sense, right? You gotta make sure to select the best group of people for every cohort.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. Any questions before Grace finishes her presentation? I think you provided all the information that they needed.
Absolutely. So, and if any questions come up later on, yes, go ahead.
Is the program still online?
That's a great question. So currently the program is 100% online. We're not yet sure about the fall, just because we're trying to see how this whole vaccination process.
Yeah, how many people are gonna be vaccinated by fall?
Exactly, which I'm not sure, but by the time we start doing the phone screening in June, we should have a complete answer for you. So we will let you know if the program will be offered virtually, or if it will be hybrid, or if it will be fully in person.
Yeah.
So by June, we should have the answer.
So before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, it was in person.
Yes, the program has been in person since the beginning. That when the pandemic started last year in March, we had just completed the first week of the Philly class, and we had to transition virtually. It was a big challenge, to be honest, because that's not like a curriculum, a teaching style that we're used to. But it was very challenging for that spring 2020.
And you guys were in the middle of the training when the pandemic hit, right?
We had just completed the first week for Philadelphia, because Philadelphia used to start like first before the Wilmington class. We were in person, so the Wilmington's class had not started, but the Philadelphia class, we had completed 1 week, and then we just had to change everything virtually. It was very challenging for the instructors, for the staff, and for the students as well, because we had to figure out, like, do people have good internet at home? And we have to find fundings to help those who don't have internet at home. So but it was a learning process for us, and then we perfected it for the fall 2020 class, and for the spring class right now, we're so sure that we are 100% know what we're doing, and we're trying to provide as much of the same experience as they would get in person.
Yeah, that cohort was like the experiment. Since
definitely
it was
was
the first
extra.
one, right? The first virtual one ever.
Yes,
I don't know if we mentioned this, probably we did, but just to clarify, so this IT training program is also out of cost, right? It's completely free.
yes, it's 100% free because we receive fundings from, from private investors who have helped make this program free from the beginning, from over 10 years ago. So it's 100% free. You will be getting a textbook that you need for the class, a Lona laptop that we'll use for the period of the class. So if we do go back in person by the time you apply, the only costs you'll be incurring will be transportation and lunch.
Great. Before I forget to ask you this, and I think that this would be my final question for you, Grace. So for those who have the high school diploma from their home country, do they have to translate it first before send it to you?
That's a great question. I do believe that I don't think we necessarily, and this is a process that I don't do, is after they've gotten accepted and when we're like enrolling them, of which our program administrator does. But I don't think we actually ask for like copies of the certifications. We will just ask for the name of the high school and, when you started high school and when you completed.
Great, great. Thank you. Any additional questions? No, I think we're good. So I'm gonna send a follow-up email and I'm gonna share your contact information just in case they want to ask you something, additional. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
Thank
Thank
you for having
Grace,
me.
for the opportunity. Thanks for your time, and all the information you shared was really good to learn.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much.
Great experience. I mean, like I said, in the beginning, it was the first time.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Appreciate